Gulalai Khan, and I, as was introduced by Anusha, I teach Internet Governance and Technology Policy at LUMS, and I work in the policy advisory as well as the training and capacity development for women specifically space. I have founded an online platform which is Pakistan Professional Women Forum, and we provide mentorship and training opportunities for women in the labor force and otherwise as well. I want to start by saying that first, thank you, WOW, for bringing this festival to Lahore. It's a city that has a lot of culture, a lot of beauty, but a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to women. Today, when I talk about bridging the gaps, there's so many gaps that need to be bridged. There's so many statistics that we heard over the last 2 days, depressing statistics about women in Pakistan, and I think I can add one more depressing statistic to it, that when it comes to digital technology, women in Pakistan are 49% less likely to use mobile internet. So while mobile ownership is something we can measure access to technology on, it is more about the usage, and what kind of opportunity that comes out of it is something we should be looking at. The relationship of Pakistani women with technology is very tricky. It's very sad that we have seen a specific term that has been curated for women's usage of technology in Pakistan that is known as the digital parda. So it's something for those who are here कि हम ऑनलाइन होते हुए भी, हमारे पास एक्सेस होते हुए भी बहुत सी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जिसकी वजह से हम टेक्नोलॉजी को फुली उसकी फुलेस्ट पोटेंशियल की वजह से यूज़ नहीं कर सकते. एंड आई थिंक दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द रीजंस व्हाई आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग इन दिस स्पेस, बिकॉज आई एक्चुअली बिलीव that when we say that technology is one of the biggest enablers, we have to see how we all can support it. We are usually told, एक slide मैंने आपको दी थी, if you can first run that, हमें हमेशा कहा जाता है, we are told that policy is one of the biggest enablers, which is true. This is actually a picture from the 1950s Constituent Assembly of Pakistan, and you see hardly any representation for women. Can we have the next slide? Here, now we have, this is a picture from the 2017-18 time, where we had a woman speaker of assembly, as well as women participation and a lot of women in the National Assembly. Yes, it was a result of a policy action. It was a result of an affirmative action. I hear a lot of people dissing affirmative action for some time now, but I believe that at certain points, that policy intervention and that enablement that comes helps women. Can we now move to the next slide? These are pictures I really wanted to show you, because when we talk about women in tech in Pakistan, we think of urban women. We think of women like us sitting here, having access, using internet and mobile to whatever our fullest potential is. These are pictures from DG Khan, Laiya, Bahawalpur, Multan. Can we have another? These are all some of my trainees for the women digital training program that I did. This is Mardan, one of the most conservative areas. I belong from here. So these are women who are here, and then this another woman. Because again, when we talk about women in tech, we're also talking about a lot of younger women. But this ageism in policy or any intervention is something we also need to look at. These are real life women in Pakistan striving to be a part of the digital economy that we talk about. Can we have another picture now? And these are some of the women, entrepreneurs in Peshawar, who cannot speak, they cannot hear, but they are using technology to the fullest of abilities. For these people, technology is not making things easier. For them, technology is making things possible. So when we talk about digital divide in Pakistan, we have to understand that the gender digital divide is not limited to our urban areas only, or women who have access. We have to look at the multiple layers of that divide. These multiple layers that you see, you can remove the slides now. Thank you so much. The multiple layers is access, then skills, and then the opportunity to use it. But as I said earlier, yes, policy is one of the biggest enabler, but can we also think about what is the role of us, all of us together in implementing that policy? We can have one of the best policies in the world, but if it's not implemented by all partners together and with coordination, we have seen policies fail because of that, you know? So that's something that I wanted to, point today. And when it comes to the gender-digital divide, another thing that we have to look is that we had a very interesting session on AI just before this session. And we saw that the AI is now furthering and that divide is becoming more now because it's leading to the data divide. Are Pakistanis generally, and women in particular, even part of the global data sets that we are looking at? Then there is an innovation divide, which is increasing because of the digital divide that we have. There is another divide, which is the value divide. So you can be online all the time, but is that transforming into anything more productive for you? Is it bringing any prosperity for you? Or is that prosperity just for a select few? So, you know, these are questions that we need to look at as citizens also. When we talk about bridging the gender-digital divide, policy is there, strategies are there. How are we all together going to work on it? Pakistan, interestingly, has, I mean, if you don't know, a very robust digital gender inclusion strategy, which means that there is a policy paper, strategy paper in place at the Ministry of IT, which looks at research and data, affordability, access, safety and security, and digital literacy as some of its key components. And it's there, but what do we do now? How do we make it? It's just the government responsibility? I mean, this is something that I really need to ask you, because I sit across, actually on both sides of the policy tables, and I always hear, Sarkar ne karna hai. It's not like that. When I talked about digital parda in the beginning, ये सरकार का की वजह से हम ये हुआ है, or is it a socio-economic, cultural construct that leads to our behaviors towards women who want to use technology or access to technology? How many of us are there जिनकी अगर mates के पास वो TikTok पे हैं तो हम उनको क्या समझते हैं? Do we even allow them to use mobile phones, you know? To actually do something better for themselves? Or the alternate question is, are they even using the technology for their own good? Or is it just being in unsafe online places for them? So there's so many things that you need to think of when we think about bridging the gap. And over the years, I have thought about it quite a lot, and I think there is a framework that can really, really help that. It can be useful for anything, but for the gender-digital divide, it is particularly useful because this is a very, very tricky subject, especially in countries like Pakistan. And I think that's the 4 Ps model. So there is a policy, which is there. And there can be more enabling policies if you advocate for it and push for it. Then there are platforms. The next P is the platforms. So are there public platforms, private platforms? I believe WOW is a platform. All of you have different access to different platforms. How do we translate that into advocating for not just enabling policies, but also implementation? Number 3 is partnerships. So what are we looking at these days? Are we looking at the private sector coming together for just one CSR activity? Oh, humne Women's Day pe, there is a pink phone that we have to give all these women, or a pink data card that we have to. No, that's a one-off thing. That's a one-off communication activity. It's not a proper activity which can lead to the bridging the gender-digital divide. I have some great friends in corporate working very, in technology companies, and I always tell them that for you, the work on gender has to move beyond communications. It has to be integrated into the societies and the communities that you work in. And then only then can you form a stronger partnership, not just with the government on implementing policy, but also the consumers and the users of all your products. And number 4 is a very important one, which is practice. So practice is, like I show you these pictures, and some of these women are artisans, right? How do you translate those partnerships and those platforms into practice? Do you train enough women? Do they get something out of it? Do you follow back? Do you, as part of public sector development, are donors even doing enough work in this space? Are donors coordinating with each other? Because that is also one of the biggest issues, that everybody starts to jump into a bandwagon, starts working on everything together, and then there is a lot of duplication of efforts. So we have to check, as citizens, as people working in private capacities in different organizations, as people having access to platforms, as people who are actually the voices for the rest of the citizens of Pakistan, to be able to bridge that gap for us. And I believe that if we follow the 4Ps concept and diligently follow it, we might be able to actually do something about it. In the end, I just want to say that at a certain level, there is a higher strategic level of policy work that needs to be done, or that is happening. Then there is an implementation level work that needs to be, if happening, monitored well, evaluated on its impact. And the very important part is, at a personal level, what are we doing? If nothing else, can we change our behaviors towards people and technology and women's access and usage of technology? Can we work towards improving these concepts of how we view women who thrive on digital spaces? Can we stop saying things about them that can hurt them, that can harm them? So at every level, there is work that needs to be done. Policy is not alone going to solve the issue for it. Everybody has to come together for it. I feel policy is an opportunity. We should take it up, follow through it, and let's work together to implement it. Thank you so much.